Fabrizio Romano has spoken. Smash the like button and big up you lot. Get ready, Arsenal fans. It's been a busy summer already, and the best is yet to come because Arsenal want to do way more. Listen, don't excite me. Don't arouse my imagination. I love to see that we're getting squad fillers and, Mascara's coming in, Norgard's coming in, Kepa's coming in, making the squad stronger. This is a terrible example, but if we have a house, it's like buying milk and bread. I want TVs now. TVs being Gyokeres, Sesko, Morgan Rodgers, Eze, this one, that one. Obviously, we're not going to get them all, but yeah, I know. Actually, for all the talk, and we're obviously making moves and we're clearly dotting I's and crossing T's. None of these guys are holding the shirt yet. Big up Zubimendi. Ebola, apparently, people said Arsenal are prioritizing Benjamin Sesko. Gyokeres is giving the green light to listen to what Amarin has to offer. Apparently, that's a follow-up tweet. Ebola has not reported this. They simply told a Portuguese audience. The Daily Star and the Mirror have reported this. I personally believe Sesko is the number one target. If there's any mishaps in that, then we go for Gyokeres. I've got small hope that we complete both. I'm not going to hold my breath. But 1 minute, every day that passes, Arsenal are ditching the Sesko plans to go and get Gyokeres. We're ditching the Gyokeres plans to go and get Sesko. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to stop. I think the striker is the one that's going to come in. Personally, I think the left winger, especially if it's someone like Rodrygo, that's one where that probably drags into the season or up until the September the 1st deadline. I do think, it's not that I think, we all know at this point. Kepa, Zubimendi, Nordgaard, this Mascara brother, I believe Sesko, them kind of players will be in before, like for pre-season or at some point. They'll be here for the new season to kick off, if that makes sense. And then if it's a Rodrygo and maybe even Eze, these things are going to drag people. The conversations for both Sesko and Gyokeres is still ongoing with daily contacts between all parties involved. Arsenal are on it, so let's see what they decide. For sure, a new striker will be at Arsenal this summer, inshallah. Rodrygo is one of the dreams for Arsenal. In order to make the deal happen, Rodrygo needs to go and tell Real Madrid, I want to leave. He has the power to decide. If he asks to be sold, Arsenal will be in the conversation for sure. And he's struggling for regular starting berths in the Club World Cup, people, as you lot can see. Gary Jacobs has said Arsenal are stepping up their pursuit of a winger. Eze, Madueke on the shortlist. Rodrygo, Rodgers, Paxal, who I think plays in Holland, are also on Arsenal's list of wide attackers, with Berta exploring various options. That's what I took from that, various options. Arsenal have been interested in Anthony Gordon and Nico Williams as well, but the cost of both players has proved prohibited. Newcastle are going to play hardball for Gordon. We can want Nico Williams as much as we want. It seems like he's going to Barca. Arsenal, behind the scenes, have been working very well on Mascara. My understanding is that the player wants to go to Arsenal, and he sees Arsenal as a perfect opportunity for his career. You have to compete with Gabriel, with Saliba, but what I'm hearing is that Mascara is not scared of this. He wants to be there. My feeling is that for around 20 to 25 million euros, Arsenal can get a deal done. Sources close to the club suggest Sporting's keenness to offload Gyokeres has become clearer by the day, arguably weakening their hand. Internally, there are already reservations over the player. Sources say Leipzig are driving a hard bargain for Sesko because they know all well how desperate Arsenal are for a striker. It's for this reason and Arsenal's desire to not spend over their budget for a striker that there is a delay. Andrea Berta is said to have other striking options too, which he is in negotiations over. If a deal for Sesko or Gyokeres was not to materialize, the prospect of a surprise name entering the frame is a possibility, which is music to my ears. Speaking of random names, Nick Waltmade, I admit, I didn't rate you at first. Now, I've done my homework, watched some games at Stuttgart, and it's mainly during the under-21 championship. He looks like he's going Bayern Munich, as you can see here, yeah. But if something goes left around Gyokeres and Sesko, I wouldn't mind him. I think he fits the system. I actually think he's not a glamorous name. He's earning his rep, but I actually would like him at Arsenal, you know. I know we're linked with Gyokeres, Sesko, Nico Williams, but you get the point. Apparently, Arsenal are ready to take on North London rivals Spurs in the race for 68 million. Crystal Palace star Eze. Apparently, The Sun has reported Andrea Berta has held talks with one of Eze's reps. But Berta will have to convince the Arsenal hierarchy that it's a worthwhile deal given the England's international's age and the fee. That's why I feel if we were to get Eze, they will get Sesko. I don't think you get Gyokeres and Eze. Obviously, I want to do the win now mode, but resale value, all of that stuff is something they harp on about. Those are players that are in their prime and won't carry that. Pardon me. So Berta's spoken, and one thing I think goes under the radar, Berta's actually got a history in finance. That just tells me clearly we must like him. Berta's exploring the deal, but he has to convince the hierarchy. So that's not necessarily convincing Arteta. But yeah, by the way, Mascara has actually turned 21 today as well. Eze turns 27 on Sunday, and the Emirates club are against signing 2 players that age, with Gyökeres 27 also on the radar. God as my witness, I never knew that was typed in the article. That's just my opinion. Smash the like button. I'm sure you had the same. That kind of confirms it. Sesko remains Arsenal's #1 target, but they are also interested in Gyökeres, although they face competition from Man United and Liverpool. Earlier this summer, signing a left winger was regarded as a bonus with a striker priority, but the club now want to do both. No, there's no bonus. You need a left winger, you need a striker. In previous years, you might have been able to get away with not doing everything. You need to do everything. And again, we haven't got a left winger, we haven't got a striker at this moment in time, right? But it feels like this might be the window. And I say might, and it's showing proof settings. This might be the first window where, in my opinion, we address all the areas: defense, attack, midfield, pivoted with Norgard signing, of course, left wing, and clearly up front people. So it is what it is. Although buying Eze would reduce their funds for a striker, Arsenal are expected to confirm deals for midfielders Martin Zubimendi and Norgard, plus backup goalkeeper Kepa from Chelsea in the coming days. Big up Miles Lewis-Skelly for signing a new deal as well, people. Arsenal have added Eze to the shortlist, as it says here. We're tracking a number of versatile players this summer as we look to sign a wide player able to provide competition for Bukayo Saka, Martinelli and Trossard. Apparently, we're also tracking Rodrygo, Anthony Gordon, as well as Eze. Spurs are admirers of him. They have a close relationship, allegedly, with his agency, which, you know, playing in the Champions League, Spurs gives him that opportunity as well. He did come from Haaland. Come and join us, man. Come and join us. Come and join us and stop the nonsense and foolishness. Arsenal was probably the hardest. My dream was to play for them. Hearing them say no at 13, that was tough. I remember training after I got released and I couldn't focus. I was crying while I was training. Bit harsh to tell him before trading, isn't it? Really. But rejection is just redirection. Maybe if you didn't get released from Arsenal, you wouldn't be the Eze you are today. That being said, I could understand if you've got a bit of a gripe with Arsenal, but come and realize your dream, my killie. Come and realize your dream. Gomez featured prominently on Arsenal's list of potential replacements to replace Partey, crucially. However, it's understood Mikel Arteta identified Norgard because he preferred a Premier League ready-made player. Thomas Partey is still over there in Spain. Do we think he's going to stay, people? On Zubimendi, everything is done. The contract is signed. The medical is okay. Can you imagine in the Arsenal squad at this moment, there's not one player over 30? That shows how good the project is. But you also need experience. So Norgard is seen as the perfect player. Arsenal have been very fast in this negotiation, and they're going to pay 11 million euros plus add-ons. He sees Arsenal as an opportunity of a lifetime. He always wanted to stay at Brentford, but when Arsenal called, Norgard immediately said yes. Lewis Skelly showed his gratitude for Mikel Arteta and playing him at left back, and it was quite heartfelt seeing the video that they did on Arsenal.com around Lewis Skelly. Apparently, Romano said, we'll have to be patient regarding a striker. Conversations are ongoing between Sesko and Gyökeres. Arsenal are trying to see if they can reduce the Leipzig request and also find out the final price on Mr. Gyökeres. Rodrygo's future lies with him. Till now, he has not communicated that. But if he says he wants to leave, Arsenal will be there in a conversation. So until he says I want to go, we're in issues. Again, we've gone over Mascara already. Lewis Skelly said he wants to win trophies, get Arsenal back to where they want, and create a legacy. That's what we want to hear. I mean, a current price of 60 million euros for Waltmade. I'm on that, people, if I'm completely honest with you. Is there anything else? We're targeting at least 5 signings. And it does feel like we're beginning to cook, people, in that regard. So, yeah, we're working on deals. We're getting deals done, apparently. So, yeah, we're going to have to see how all of this kind of pans out, man. But I need my striker, man. I need my striker. I need Jarrell Hatto as well. I think with us signing Mascara, who's going to be cheaper, that rules that out, though.